Lori here. I'm here to start another reading vlog. So this reading vlog is going to be a little bit different. One of my goals for the tail end of 2020 is to kind of keep reading sequels or like tackling the ends of series. So I decided to gather 7. I think it's 7 books and kind of start reading those this week. I don't think I'll finish all 8, but I want to have some options. I'm gonna kind of talk through them. Then I'm gonna pick a random one, and then we'll get into the reading vlog. But the first one I'm gonna be pulling from is Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han. I hope I don't choose this one right now because I do want to actually watch the movie, but I am sticking it in this stack. So that's good news. Another one is Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. This just came out in July. This is the sequel to Spin the Dawn. I remember really liking Spin the Dawn, so hope that I really enjoy this one as well. Also, Crow Rider is the conclusion to the Stormcrow dialogy. This is the one I really am excited to read. I'm definitely going to wind up picking this up this week. It just may not be right now. But this one I'm really excited for. I also just get Finale out from my library, which is a Caraval novel, and this is the concluding book in that series. I also, from my library, got Girls Which Raise Our Hearts by Suzanne Young. I wound up reading the first book in this series last month, so I wanted to get it while I remembered everything about it. And Potion, Going Viral, The Potion Diaries by Amy Alward is the concluding book in that series. I actually wound up really liking this one. And also last month, I wound up reading Black Wings Beating, and Red Skies Falling is the sequel, and book 3 comes out in September. So I'm going to go kind of do a random number generator, pick my book, and then I'll come in and share that with you guys. Bye. I did wind up actually choosing The Crow Rider by Kayla Josephine. I'm actually really excited to dive into this one. It's actually not as long as I was necessarily expecting, but I hope that it does recap what happened in Stormcrow because I don't really remember all that much. I remember really liking it. I remember Kalis as a character. I know that there's like Stormcrows in here as well, clearly. But yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm gonna actually go read this. I'm probably gonna read until like 8 o'clock, so I have like about an hour, and then I'm probably gonna dive into watch some TV watching. I will warn you all, I'm on an Ellen Page kick. That's what I've been in the mood to watch. I just finished Umbrella Academy season 2. And I realized why I love Umbrella Academy so much. I realized why I like Ellen Page's character so much in Umbrella Academy, as well as just an actor, but she reminds me so much of Willow from Buffy, that character arc over the past 2 seasons, and I love Willow. Willow's definitely my favorite character in Buffy, and I've always looking for stuff that kind of reminds me of Willow, and Vanya for me reminds me of her a lot. So yeah, you're probably going to hear a lot about Ellen Page in this reading vlog, sorry, and Umbrella Academy, because I'll probably be rewatching it at some point. But I have really watched no movies during quarantine, like at all. I think I've watched like 3 movies the entire quarantine, so I made up for that this weekend because I watched like 4 Ellen Page movies. So I'm going to go read a little bit of this, start this, and then I'm probably going to dive into some Ellen Page movies, which I'm really excited about. And these are movies that I haven't actually seen, so. But I'll report back when I make a little bit of progress on The Crow Rider. Bye, guys. Here I'm back. I did actually wind up reading the first 2 chapters in The Crow Rider. I definitely am getting back into the world. I really remember enjoying the first book, and it's just taking me a little bit. I think tomorrow, before I like dive into it a little bit deeper, I'm probably gonna look at a summary because I know basically what happened, but there's a lot of names that I'm just kind of forgetting who's who. So I think at some point tonight I'll probably read a summary, but I am gonna go watch a little bit of TV. I've been reading like all day because I felt like I was behind on my reading for the month, which is ridiculous because it's the 3rd, and but I tend to get a little bit stressed out about that. But I'm going to pick up this book tomorrow, hopefully with a little bit more context about, like, the previous book in the series, just because I want to, like, know exactly who everyone is. So I'll pick up with you guys tomorrow and let you guys know what I wound up watching. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. It's about 8:30 in the morning. I'm going to go head and do my nonfiction reading and my Skillshare class, which I didn't actually do yesterday. Because it looks like it's gonna pour, so I don't actually think I'm actually physically gonna go to my yoga class, which is normally what I do. Also, last night I did wind up finishing watching the reboot of Tales of the City with Ellen Page and Laura Linney. I ended up really, really liking it. Still, now that I'm done with that, I don't know what I'm gonna watch next. I went to bed, like I stayed up a little bit too late again. I've been doing that a lot, which should really get out of that habit. But wound up really, really liking that. Definitely would say if you're looking for more of a diverse show, I would pick that up. It has to do a lot with LGBTQ rights, LGBTQ history, but also a strong element of family. Alright, so I'm gonna go do my nonfiction reading and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, sorry if I look a little bit like weird. I just got back from a bike ride and kind of got caught in the rain. But I did wind up going to yoga, going for a bike ride. I wound up reading about 30 pages of Stormcrow. I love those characters so much. I still feel a little bit lost, like who's really connected to who. So I'm gonna keep reading, and if I find it's really a struggle, I might actually kind of reread Stormcrow, but I'm hoping I don't have to. I'm hoping I'll just kind of fall back into the world and the characters. I'm only 30 pages in, but I do really like this book. I love the Stormcrow mythology. That's something that I'm really, really liking. I love Kylus and the lead character. I always have liked their relationship. Kylus is what I always call like a cinnamon roll character. He's just a character you really, really root for. So I'm actually gonna go read. I have fallen so far behind on my YouTube videos recently. I think I have like 39 to watch, and that's like on the shorter side because I spent all weekend watching Umbrella Academy. Also, yesterday, I think I said this in a previous clip, last night I did wind up finishing Tales of the City, which was very, very good. I really liked that show. It stars Ellen Page and Laura Linney and was really, really nice and fun. And kind of like an interesting watch as well. I found it to be really enjoyable. But yeah, I'm gonna go read, make some more progress on CrowRider. We're in the middle of like a tropical storm here, so I'm probably gonna be inside most of the day, and that book is relatively on the shorter side. But yeah, I'm gonna go read and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. It's about 2:51. I did make a little bit more progress on the CrowRider. Sorry, I keep on calling it the wrong title. But I'm really liking this book. I really love how we're diving back into the characters. I also like how we're really talking about Kylus. Kylus is definitely one of my favorite characters in this series, and I really liked him in book 1. But we're also dealing a lot with like elements of post-traumatic stress with him, and how him and our lead character's relationship has changed so dramatically depending on the environment that they're in. Really liking this book. I'd still like feel like I need like a little bit clarification of who really is connected to who, because it's been a year since I read Stormcrow and I cannot find like a really good description on the website that like on anything of a summary, but a spoiler filled summary, but still really, really liking it. It's definitely a very, very quick read. I've said this before. I think this magic system is really unique and really different, but I do like how we're really diving into like the past and like dealing with like Kylus's PTSD, because I think that that's really important. And I think sometimes in books like that kind of gets brushed under the rug, especially in subsequent books in a series, especially because this is only a duology. It tends to focus a lot on plot, and this book really is focusing a lot on characters as well, and I'm really, really liking that. So, sorry if you could hear the wind in the background if we're in the middle of a tropical storm. Hope we don't lose power. That would be very, very, very upsetting. But I'm gonna go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I make a little bit more progress. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. It's almost 2:30. I did wind up reading a little bit more in the CrowRider. Still really, really liking this book. This book did a very interesting relationship thing between Kylus and the main character, which I actually really like. I do really like them both as characters, and I thought that their relationship in the first book was really interesting, but I also like the way that this book kind of took it in like a different direction. Still really, really liking it. I love that it's very different format from the first book, because the first book was really set in like their town, and there was a lot of like secrecy. This is more like preparing for battle or preparing for war, especially in regard to the crow, because the crow has an affinity for a lot of different magic systems, because every Stormcrow has like a different specialty. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that we're kind of diving more back into the elements of the first book. There's also a lot of characters in this book, so it does take a little bit to kind of connect back to everyone. But I get it to page 70, which I think is pretty good. So I'm actually going to take a break. I bought the game Villainous with like way at the start of quarantine, and because I was working full time, I really never got a chance to play it. So me and my dad were going to try to play it. We will see if we like it. I'm really excited because I've heard many people have loved this board game, so I'm excited to play it, and then I'm probably going to come back and try to tackle a little bit more. As I said in an earlier clip, I have a lot of YouTube videos that I haven't watched because of everything else I was watching, so that's going to be my focus today, which will be exciting. So I will come in when I'm done playing my board game and let you guys know what I thought about it. But still really liking The Crow Rider. It's definitely reading very, very quick and very, very fast paced, which I am liking. I like how we're kind of adventuring to see a bunch of different environments, which is very different from the first book. But yeah, so I'm gonna go play that board game with my dad, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Here, I'm back. It's about 4 o'clock. I just wanted to do a quick check-in and say that I did wind up reading to page about 108 in The Crow Rider by Kayla Josephine. Still really, really liking this book. I'm loving where it's going. I'm not feeling my best. I'll say that. I've been sleeping really late or like staying up super late, and it kind of sometimes affects my equilibrium. But I did want to share that I did get a couple of books from Simon and Schuster. I think it's from ALA. It's either from ALA or BEA. One of them. I don't know where I got these books, but I got them from one of the conventions I went to virtually. I just wanted to share them because there's some books that I'm really excited for. So the one book I got was Legend Born by Tracy Deonn. This book is coming out in September from Simon Pauls. If I remember, this is a fantasy novel. Yeah, it definitely has to do with magic. This cover is stunning, by the way. Some legacies are meant to be broken. And I have been trying to read more diverse fantasy. I have a couple on my TBR, but I'm really excited for this one. I also got another one, which is Shine, a novel, and this is All Is Fair is K-pop. All is Fair in Love and K-pop, and this is a contemporary novel set in the backdrop of the K-pop society or the K-pop world, written by an actual K-pop star. I think that that's just really, really cool. So I really hope I like this, and this comes out in October. I also got in another package from them, I got Tune It Out, Book Expo Buzz from Jamie Summer, an author of Roll With It. And this just has to do with, I think, music. I think music is the heart of this. And this also does come out in September. But I really like reading books like this and then passing them on to my students because it kind of looks at the arts in like a book form. So I really hope that I like this. This does also come out in September, and it looks like a really, really quick read with big print, which is really exciting. I also got Kenny and the Book of Beasts by Toni Druselli. This one is for littler kids probably, but I do have a teacher I can give this to when I go home. It's the anticipated follow-up to the Kenny and the Dragon. So I'll probably read this and then I'll probably wind up passing it on. And the one I was really excited to get was The Black Kids by Christina Hyman Reed. And this is set in 1902 in the backdrop of the Rodney King riots, I think. Yeah. And I have, again, been trying to read a little bit more diversely. So that's kind of what I've been doing. We are having some very, very bad wind and my lights keep flickering. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I might take a little bit. I really want to rewatch Juno. I just like literally watched this movie like this morning, but I just want to kind of like take a little bit of time, kind of rewatch Juno. Not the whole movie, but just my favorite scenes, which are quite a few in that movie. I told you earlier in this reading vlog. I'm definitely on an Ellen Page kick. You will spy that a lot throughout this reading vlog. But I definitely do want to make some more progress on this. This is a very, very quick read. It's one that I'm really, really liking. I'm liking the direction that this book went, and I love Kalis as a character. Like, he's a side character in this book, but I just like it. I also really like the Storm Crow magic system because I find that system to be so unique. And I really like when animals have a big part in a novel because I love animals. So the Storm Crow dynamics are so fun. But yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And then I'm probably going to go back. I have to really stop staying up so late. That's really the problem. I really have to get used to doing that because in whatever format school opens, I'm going to have to go to bed a lot earlier. And I only have like 3 more weeks before that starts, regardless if we're home or not. So I have to stop doing that. But that's probably why I've been a little bit tired and a little bit out of sorts, just because I've been staying up late watching movies, which quarantine lifestyle, y'all. All right, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, I'm back. I definitely did not feel my best yesterday. That is why I didn't film for the rest of the day. I do feel a little bit better. Not my best. My stomach's still really bothering me. I don't really know why, but I'm hopeful that I'll be able to get on track. Hopefully today. The weather always makes me a little bit off. Or just like not drinking enough water is a big thing. I never drink enough water, but I am gonna go do my Skillshare class and my nonfiction reading, and then see how I feel. I've just been feeling very, very like not like very like motivated, which is always hard for me because I really like to stay busy and keep doing things. So I'm gonna go do my nonfiction reading. Also, yesterday was a day where I really couldn't do anything, couldn't really work out because we had a tropical storm here, so I felt kind of like off. But yeah, I'm gonna go do that and then I'll check in with you guys. Bye. Alright, I'm back. It's about 9 o'clock. I am gonna do a little bit of errandy stuff that I didn't wind up doing yesterday, like Instagram stuff. I also wanna feature some of the stuff I got from publishers this week, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I think I'm gonna go for a bike ride. That's kind of my plan. I didn't really go for a bike ride yesterday, and I think that was one of the reasons why I wasn't feeling the best. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll check in with you guys after I come back from my bike ride, and hopefully I will find someplace nice and dry to read. We will see if that happens. Bye. It's Lori here. I'm back. I did actually wind up making a little bit of reading progress on The Crow Writer. I'm now on page 150. I'm really liking the pace of this book, and I also find always when I get around to reading sequels, which as you've seen through this reading vlog, I don't do very often, which I'm trying to get better at. There's always something that's kind of added to a second book, and it's either something I like because I think it like expands the world, or it's something that I don't like. So there's been something added. I think it was teased in book 1, but I think it's been like expanded. It's been a bit since I read Stormgirl. I read Stormgirl exactly a year ago. But I'm finding it to be like an interesting twist for the story and for the characters, so I'm really kind of liking that. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. But my goal is to finish this book today. I said this before, I have a ridiculous amount of YouTube videos to watch, so I'm gonna kind of spend the next half an hour, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna eat, and then I might go outside because it was very, very rainy yesterday, and a lot of trees came down, so I'm hoping the grass will be dry enough that I can actually sit on. But we will see. But I'll report back when I make a little bit more reading progress on Crow Writer. Still really, really liking it. I'm liking the characters a lot. I think it is leaning in the romance direction for one character, for the main character with someone else, than one's the focus of book 1. Normally, I struggle with that because the character in book 1 was one I really enjoyed. But I think Kayla, the author, did something really unique that kind of made that to be okay. But I just love the Crow as a character. He can't, like, normally sometimes when you have books like this, especially in middle grade, the characters like actually speak. But he feels like such a character that I'm really, really liking it. So I'm gonna go back to doing that, and I'll update you guys after I eat and read a little bit more. Bye. Here I'm back in my outside location for filming because it's sunny and nice, and it's not raining today. But I did want to say that I did wind up getting up to page 200 in The Crow Writer. Still really enjoying this book. You could definitely tell that it's definitely like a much more concise series from the series that I normally read because it's only a duology. But I do like how they really are diving into the intricacies of war, but in like a political situation. I'm also liking how they really are dealing with the crows in this book. Well, one crow. I also like that we're getting a lot of other characters in this book that we did see in book 1, but we're kind of seeing who they are in like other facets that we weren't aware of in book 1. So I'm really, really liking that. I'm watching a much longer true crime video. I think it's like 3 hours. So I'm gonna probably finish that, keep on reading, and then I'm probably gonna go for another bike ride, read in the park, and then come back and see how far I am. So before I go for my bike ride, I'll definitely update you guys. Bye. Lori here. It's almost 2 o'clock. I did wind up reading up to page 230 and Crow Writer by Kayla Josephine. I'm definitely really liking this book. I'm thoroughly loving it. I think it's definitely a step up from the first book in the series, but it's still doing everything that I want. This book is definitely focused on battling, but also has a very, very strong political element. Sorry, the door keeps opening. It definitely has a very, very strong political connection, which I really liked in the first book, and I said this before in a bunch of my other reading vlogs. I sometimes struggle with battle-led books because I just get like a little bit lost in the details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a bike ride, and I'm going to read for a little bit in the park, and come back after I read like 50 pages, which means I'll be up to like 300 pages, which is almost done. So very, very solid, very, very good. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys when I come back from my bike ride. Bye. I'm back from my bike ride. Sorry, I look a little bit sweaty, and I'm gonna actually go work out again because I didn't actually work out at all yesterday because I wasn't feeling my best. But I did want to say that I did wind up getting up to page 260 in The Crow Writer. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely a nice balance between battle and political stuff. I am much more a reader that likes political fantasy novels and less like the war-based ones. I'm trying to read a few more of them. I'm in the middle of the Queen Poisoner series by Jeff Wheeler, and that definitely has more of a battle element to it. but just because I get a little bit lost in the details. One of my favorite characters in this whole series, his journey took like a turn right. So I'm kind of curious what's going to happen to that character for the rest of the book. We have about 60 pages left. So I'm definitely going to finish this book today, for sure. But yeah, so I'm going to go do a workout, read a little bit more, and then I'll check in with you guys. Bye. Here, just checking back in. I did actually wind up reading to page 300 in The Crow Rider. I'm really at the tail end of this. We are definitely into the roundup. I'm really curious to see how the story ends and to see how all the storylines kind of come to an end. I'm loving the dynamics between Thea and Race, her Stormcrow. I think that's definitely the highlight of this book. I'm really excited to see how this book wraps up, so I'm going to go tackle it. I actually have quite a bit less than even what Goodreads says because I only have about 24 pages left, because at the end, and I want to like announce this, they do have the world of the Stormcrow at the back. They had it in the first one, but I always forget that it's there, so it is a little bit helpful, like if you feel like super confused, like who everything is. I really wish that they would have had like a summary at the start of this book, because I did feel a little bit lost in the details. But this is a book series I will definitely reread or re-listen to for sure. So I'm gonna go finish it, and I'll check in with you guys when I'm done. Bye. Hey, Lori here. It's almost 5:40, and I did actually want to finishing The Crow Rider by Kayla Josephine. I wound up really, really liking this book. Wound up giving it 4.5 stars. Really, really liked it. I think it was a very, very solid end to the series. I really liked that this book had a very, very different structure than the first book in the series. I liked that it really did dive into all the characters. I thought the romance in this book was really unique and like a little bit different, and I liked that. I thought that what Kayla's definitely one of my favorite characters, and I thought that his journey in this book was really interesting. I also like that there was a lot of characters that we saw more of. They dived in a lot of new things in this world, and even though it's only a duology, I felt like the new elements were really like enhanced on and focused on, and it was just great. I just love the dynamics between the Stormcrow and our lead character. I thought it was great. I would definitely wind up rereading this series for sure, because I wound up really, really liking it. I love the setting. I love that this book had a nice balance between political maneuvering, but also battles. Wound up really liking it. I am gonna deviate from my TBR a little bit because I have to. I got one of the Disney Twisted Tale, the newest one, the Cinderella one, out from my library, and I've been literally waiting for like 10 weeks for this. So I'm gonna read that book next. It's not that long. And technically, it is part of a companion series, so it is a sequel, just not like a direct sequel. So I'm going to read the Cinderella one, which I'm really excited about. But because I didn't play Animal Crossing at all for the past couple of days, I'm going to actually go play it right now. And yeah, that's kind of my plan of attack. So when I start my book and read a little bit, I'll like come up and like update you guys, and I'll take up with the question that this book is tackling. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, Lori here, just checking back in. It's almost 8 o'clock, well, it's past 8 o'clock actually, but I did wind up reading about 50 pages in my book, which is So This Is Love, which is one of the Twisted Tale books. This one follows Cinderella, and every single Twisted Tale book kind of answers a different question. I've read maybe like 4 of them at this point. I read the Sleeping Beauty one, Once Upon a Dream. I read the Mulan one. I read the Part of Your World one. So this will be my 4th. I think out of all of them, I really liked the Ariel one, and I really liked the Sleeping Beauty one. I liked the Mulan one. I didn't love it. This one I'm really, really enjoying. But basically the question it's asking is, what if Cinderella never tried on the slipper? So that's kind of the thing we're following. Always these stories, like, you get like a little bit confused because you have to really remember what the actual story is. So right now, she didn't try on the slipper. She's running away from her stepmother's house, and that's all that I have so far. But it really is diving. I said this with Ariel's story, and I said this with Sleeping Beauty. You do get a lot of information about the characters' pasts, and like you got like a really interesting information about the fairy godmother and that magic system, which we didn't learn about at all. We also learn a little bit more about the stepmother. So we do get like really subtle pieces of information that I'm really, really liking. This book definitely does have a dark twist, I'll say that, especially in regards to what could have happened to Cinderella. But I'm really, really liking it. I'm about 50 pages in. we in every other book we got like a lot of point of views. This book right now we only have 2 point of views that we're following. So I'm curious like what's gonna happen because I haven't really read the summary, but I assume she connects to the prince at some point. But I'll let you guys know. But I'm gonna go read a little bit more. I'm gonna watch like 2 more long YouTube videos, and then I'll probably like go watch my movie that I was planning on watching anyway. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Right here. Last night I actually did wind up getting a lot of YouTube watching done, but I did also wind up making it to page. I'm gonna look it up because it's not that far into this book, to be honest with you. But I did wind up getting up to I think 14% in So This Is Love by which is the Twisted Tale. I think I'm like 50 pages in. Yeah. I think I'm like about 50 pages in. Yeah. I think I'm about, let me just see if it tells me. Yeah, I'm about 50 pages in. Still really, really enjoying it. I'm loving that we're really diving into all of the characters, including the prince, including Cinderella, including another man. We're learning a lot more about the magic system, about the fairy godmother's magic system, which I'm also really, really enjoying. So yeah, I'm really, really liking it. I'm gonna go do my nonfiction reading. Actually, the yoga class I normally go to on Thursdays got canceled, so I'm gonna go to a different yoga class, but it's later, and I'm gonna go to the park actually, which is so exciting. So I'm gonna go do some nonfiction reading, and then my Skillshare class, and then I'm gonna head out, and I'll talk to you guys when I get back from my yoga class. It's Lori here. I'm back. It's almost about 12:40. I did wind up going to yoga and I got caught like in the rain during yoga, which actually wasn't that bad. But we are in the middle of our storm season. We always have a storm season. It sometimes is a little bit longer. Like normally our storm season starts like the end of August, but we do get very, very heavy rains normally in like June, and then in September. So we're kind of in the middle of our storm season. But we did have a mini hurricane or tropical storm Tuesday, so it's just kind of been very, very wet and very, very rainy. It's actually quite chilly today. But I am in the middle of reading my book. I'm about 28% in. Still really enjoying it. I'm definitely liking this. Version of the Twisted Tale like a lot. But basically it follows Cinderella. The question that this book is exploring is what if she never tried on the glass slipper? So she winds up in kind of like a random assortment event. She winds up becoming a servant at the palace. So you kind of follow her point of view, and then you follow a bunch of other different point of views, but I'm really enjoying it. I think right now this is becoming probably one of my favorites. It's also very, very fast-paced, which I'm really, really liking. But yeah, I'm really, really liking it. So I'm gonna go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye. Here, just wanted to do a quick update. I did wind up reading about 100 up to page 100, and So This Is Love. I am on chapter 12. I am reading on a Kindle, so the pages are a little bit off. This book says it only has 285 pages, but the real edition says it's a lot more, so it's probably somewhere between those two. It's probably more like 400 pages, honestly. But still really, really liking it. I like how we're kind of diving into the backgrounds of these characters, and you're learning a lot more about them. You're also learning more about side characters and characters you never really knew in the movies. I'm liking the way that she is kind of a servant for this, but she's also kind of learning more about the world. I like how we're learning more about the magic system in this world a lot. You could definitely tell that there's a clear villain in the story, which I'm also really, really enjoying. But I do like that we also do get the prince's point of view, because I think that is something that in the movies you don't tend to get, because it's very, very focused on the princess. But I do like the side characters. We have a side plot with an animal, which I'm really, really loving. I love animals as like side characters. They're very, very cute. But yeah. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll probably update you when I get up to page like 150, hopefully. See you guys in a bit. Bye. Sorry here, just checking back in. I did wind up getting up to chapter 15, 42% done, and page, let's see if it tells me, 125, and So This Is Love. I think this is definitely becoming one of my favorite Twisted Tales. I really do like Cinderella as a character. And I just really, really like the way it's structured. I like how we're diving into a lot of different characters. I like that we have new characters that we didn't necessarily see in the movie. I'm just really enjoying it. It's quite fun. I do miss some characters from the movie just because they don't really fit in the story, because the story doesn't take place necessarily at Cinderella's house. It takes place somewhere else, like where the house where she is with her stepmother. So those are some elements that I wish could have found a way to be included a little bit more. But I really am loving the structure. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the plot progression. I really like what these stories do. Normally in these books, you really do get to see these characters inside these characters' heads, and you get a bunch more point of views other than just the princess. But even with the princess, you get like a lot more information, and it really does help expand the world. So in this story, you have three major point of views. You have Cinderella, you have the prince, and then you have um the um the father's like the prince's father's like attendant, I guess, or someone that's very, very powerful. And you could see how they kind of each have their own agendas. So I'm really liking it. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to reading, probably get some dinner, and then I'll update you guys when I read a little bit more. Bye. Guys, Lori here. I'm back. It's about 6:30. I did end up taking a shower. I am at 50% done in my book, which is really exciting. I'm really enjoying this one. I love books that kind of look at like more deeper issues in the world. I kind of felt this one was very similar to, well, not similar, but had like a similar magic themed element than Tale as Old as Time, which I also wound up really, really liking. Belle's definitely my favorite Disney princess for sure. But this book definitely does delve into like a lot of like the nitty gritty stuff, and it kind of features a lot more side plots than I liked. It reminds me a lot of like the Little Mermaid one, because there were a lot of side plots in that one, a lot of them. But yeah, so I'm going to keep reading, and I would love to finish this tonight. We will see if that's it, if that will happen. It's my goal. But I'm going to go back to reading. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hey, it's Lori here. I took a little bit of break last night. I read a little bit more of So This Is Love by Elizabeth Lim. Wound up really enjoying it. I'm right at like the end of it. I have about 80 pages left. But I'm going to take the morning and finish the Skillshare class that I'm in the middle of. It's also pouring raining outside, which is actually pretty good because it means I could probably get a lot of reading done. But what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to finish my Skillshare class, check in with you guys, and then I'm going to go finish my book, and then I'll probably check in and probably wrap up this reading vlog so I can do a weekend reading vlog for my birthday. But yeah, I'm going to go do that, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I'm back. It's almost 8:45, and I did wind up reading about to page 200 in my book. Still really, really liking it. This book definitely has a really interesting premise. I like how the characters of Cinderella and the prince are interacting more than I originally thought. That's sometimes where I struggle with Disney movies, because you have this whole big movie where these characters are like trying to get together. They don't really know each other. So in every single one of these books, I would say, except for the Mulan one, I felt like the characters really like developed a relationship, and I feel like they eventually owned it, and they like what they were fighting for seemed super realistic. So I'm really liking this. I like that Cinderella is really in an interesting situation because she is a servant in the palace. She's also still dealing with her past elements of her stepmother and all that drama. She has friends, and now I'm just really, really liking this. Is definitely probably going to be like a 4.5, 5-star read for me, because it's just really, really fun. I mean, it may be because we have the basis of what the Cinderella story, so we kind of know it, but I love the question that it's tackling. I think it's a great read. So I'm going to go try to tackle the rest of it. I am going to go to a yoga class, and because my HIIT yoga class got canceled yesterday, I'm probably going to try to do HIIT yoga again today. But yeah, so I'm going to go finish reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye. Hi, it's Lori here. I'm back. It's about 10:30. I am going to head to a yoga class, but I do want to say that I am about 90% done with this book. I'm really enjoying it. I like that they kind of... It's definitely more political based. They're definitely dealing with a lot of things about Cinderella's world in regards to the magic system that we didn't even dive into in the movie, and I'm really liking that. I like that she's kind of has several characters almost acting in like a fairy godmother role, which I'm really liking. I love that her and Charles, the prince, has like... I always think it's so funny because in these movies you don't ever know their names. I mean, I knew Prince Eric, but that was really it. I never knew any of the other princes' names. So like, but I'm really like, I'm liking that. I think that that's kind of interesting. And you're kind of diving into their relationship a little bit. I also like that we have a person for Charles, like another family member that we're kind of diving into. I wish we would have seen some characters from the house a little bit more, but I do like how they talk about the sisters, her past family a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to go do my workout, and then I'll probably check in when I'm done, and then I'm probably going to wind up wrapping up this reading vlog. Bye, guys. Lori here. I'm actually here to wrap up this reading vlog. It didn't I read 2 sequels this week. I wound up reading, well, technical sequels. I wound up reading The Crow Rider by Kayla Josephine, which I wound up really, really liking. I wound up giving this 4.5 stars. I thought it was a great concluding novel to the series. I thought it took the characters in a really kind of interesting direction, but also expanded the world. I really wound up enjoying it, and I'm excited to see what Kayla Josephine writes next. And then I just finished So This Is Love, which is like the 11th Twisted Tale book. This book follows Cinderella, and it answers the question, what if Cinderella never tried on the glass slipper? I will admit, this is probably one of my favorite books in this little series. I think my last favorite was the Sleeping Beauty one and the Little Mermaid one. But this definitely is like 4.75 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that it was a really interesting take on it. I thought it delved into characters and plot lines that like we didn't get in the movie. I thought the characters earned their relationship in this, and I sometimes don't think that's true in the movies, but I felt like this book, they earned it. I like the side characters that we get. I was just so fond of it. So I'm actually going to wrap up this reading vlog and start a new one with some more sequels, which will be only sequels. And it's also my birthday weekend, so I hope to get a lot of reading done. I will be honest, I wasn't feeling my best this week. There's been a lot of school stuff happening with my job and with setup of stuff that's just been like a little bit stressful. We did get word today that the school will be opening. What that means is really dependent on a lot of other factors, but Cuomo did say that all the schools can open, which we'll see how that turns out, but I'm still hopeful that I will get a lot of reading done. But yeah, I'm going to go start my next reading vlog, and I'll update you guys the next time I have a reading vlog. Let me know in the comments what are some of the sequels that you read most recently and which one you thoroughly enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later for another video. Bye, guys.